Today I'm covering the 3 most feared minor arcana cards. Let's jump into it. One of the cards that people dread is the 3 of Swords. Most see it as heartbreak and loss or betrayal. And yeah, it can mean those things, but at its core, this card can also be about emotional truth and the things that we believe. Sometimes it doesn't feel good in the moment, but these thoughts and beliefs need to come out. So this card can show up when something's been pushed aside for too long, or when you finally need to understand what's going on. Like, it's never fun, but it's real. And once things are out in the open, this is when you can actually start healing from them. So we pull these swords out of the heart can begin to heal. Now, you might see this energy when somebody is admitting something you weren't ready to hear, or when you realize you've been holding on to something that might already be over. Start focusing on where you can heal and where you can start moving forward. This card is all about sleepless nights. We all know the 9 of Swords. Worry, guilt, fear, and the constant looping of thoughts that won't shut off. The 9 of Swords isn't predicting something bad, but it does point to the stories that our minds create when we're tired or we're overwhelmed and we just keep focusing on what's wrong. It's when you keep replaying those conversations or thinking about what you should have said, or when you imagine every possible scenario that can go wrong. And most of the time, the fear isn't real. It's your mind working overtime, trying to prepare for something that might never happen. So it's a real waste of energy. And this card can often come up when you're just carrying too much pressure, when you're blaming yourself or second guessing any decisions, or holding on to guilt that really isn't helping you. Think of those things like when you can't stop scrolling, or you're distracting yourself from a problem, don't have a solution for yet, or when you're just staring at the ceiling, running through every mistake you've made. That's 9 of Swords energy. But this is a reminder that your mind can make things feel 10 times heavier, 9 times heavier than they actually are. So learning to take a breath, come back to the now, and stop letting fear run the show. That's 9 of Swords energy. And this is the card that everyone looks at and thinks, well, it's over. Honestly, sometimes it's true, but the 10 of Swords shows up when it's the end of something that's already been hanging by a thread. It's that final straw when you realize that there's nothing left to hold on to, or there's no way you can resuscitate it. But here's the thing, this card isn't about failure. It's about finality, yes, but it's the part where you stop fighting what's already done and then you start facing what comes next. There's a sunrise behind here. And when this energy shows up, it's usually after a long stretch of stress, struggle, or disappointment, and maybe you've been trying to make something work and it just isn't working anymore. It's that breakup you knew was coming but didn't want to admit, or the job you stayed at too long, the plans that didn't pan out no matter how hard you tried. You know, it can be painful, but it's also freeing, because once you hit that point, there's nowhere left to fall. You can finally stop trying to fix what's broken and start rebuilding something new. The 10 of Swords marks an ending, yeah, but it also opens a door to a clean start. So the next time one of these cards shows up in a reading, don't panic, take a breath, and look at what it's trying to show you. And that's where the insight is. And if you like this kind of breakdown, hit that like button. Let me know in the comments which of these tarot cards give you the chills, or which do you understand on a different level. And we'll see you in another video. Peace.